Alright, hello everyone. Now just to explain a bit about this, I'm kind of a little disappointed in the condition of the box because I did pay a fair amount to have this shipped securely, and it looks like this was kicked around a bit on its way here from Holland. And I'm in Canada, by the way. Though it feels like there's some padding in there, things have been shifting around, so I'm really hoping these are still in the same condition as advertised. Here we go. I'm going to open this, and hopefully everything here is as it should be. So, and my apologies in advance if my head gets in the way. Now, I was not expecting to get this for a few days yet. It took a long time to cross the Atlantic. Then it was in customs clearance. Now, I thought it was going to be at least another 5 days to a week before it ended up on my doorstep. So when I got home from work today, it was here, and it's like, yes. But I'm pretty sure most of these... Wow, okay, that's good. Most of these are Dutch. I know that, and at least one is UK. Most, like I said, are Dutch, but I think there might also be a German one in here. So this is good. Alright, that's a good start. Awkward. Oh, yeah, okay. Ooh. Ooh. Sleeves are a little bent. Oh, I can live with that. I can live with that. Okay. First one. This is the, is it UK? No, it's obviously Holland. Empty Garden, released in 1982. A stunning song. I've met other Elton John fans over the years that don't like this one so much, Empty Garden that is, and I mean, I respect people's opinions, but very, very privately I think, you must be crazy. It's one of the best songs that Elton John and Bernie Taupin ever wrote, and the actual recording of it for the Jump Up album, the studio version, is just goosebump inducing, particularly the outro. And this song on the back, the flip side, Take Me Down to the Ocean, that was recorded, if I recall, it was recorded in '79. Bruce Johnson of the Beach Boys arranged the backing vocals on that. Has a very Beach Boysy kind of flavor to it. And of the great cast of background singers, among them was the great Peter Noone, Herman of Herman's Hermits, and I'm a big Herman's Hermits guy. I love them. It's one of my, I don't know if it's top 10, but it's certainly one of my favorite non-LP B-sides from the Elton John catalog. So next is Passengers. And this is another Holland copy, I believe. Oh boy, I just got my fingerprints all over it. I'm going to have to get used to that. Sorry. Man, these are in good shape. Don't want to mess with that. I have the UK version of this, and it's not in great shape at all. It's B-side Lonely Boy. I've never cared for that too much, and I have a million copies of it. It was actually, if I remember correctly, it was actually on the flip side of a different single in North America on Geffen, and I just can't remember right now which one. And when I was a kid, actually, I should add this, when I was a kid, I really didn't like Passengers. I remember getting the Breaking Hearts album. I was 9. And I hated Passengers. There's just something about the chorus, that sort of call and answer thing. I found it goofy. So I used to skip the song, but it wasn't until I was much older, I was rediscovering Elton's 80s catalog, and I just decided, wow, what an incredible song. Nobody Wins. Be a bit more... Oh, they left the disc in the sleeve this time. Put that over there. This, I believe... Is it a UK? No, it's another Dutch. The music was by the French, the original French composer of the song, because it was originally an entirely French language song. Gary Osborne wrote English lyrics for it because Elton wanted to do his own version. He recorded a version in French, Je veux la tendresse, and also the English language version, Nobody Wins, which was on the superb album The Fox. Alright, this one. Oh, I've wanted this one for so long. It's a good song, Slow Rivers. If I can get it out of here. Let's take the disc out first. Put it in here. Yeah, I know. Look what's next. Just wait till we get to that. We're not there yet. Okay. Elton John and Cliff Richard, Slow Rivers. Side 2, track 1 of the album, Leather Jackets. And this was one of the better songs, I think, from that album. That album is not highly regarded among Elton John fans, the casual or the serious. With Slow Rivers, I'd say it was a great exception overall. It was a beautifully written song, well recorded. It was actually recorded in '85 for the Ice on Fire album, but it wasn't finished. I neglected to mention back there, Passengers was not a single in North America. Just like Slow Rivers was not a single anywhere in North America. You won't find a Geffen or an MCA copy of that anywhere, not the 45 anyway. And the flip side was Billy and the Kids, which was another outtake from Ice on Fire. Actually, yeah, recorded at the Soul Studio, Berkshire, yeah. Billy and the Kids is generally known as one of Elton's better non-LPB sides of the 1980s. But if you get the 12-inch version of this, the Slow Rivers single on Rocket, you get Billy and the Kids, and you also get another song called Lord of the Flies, which is such a bizarre song. And the first time I heard it, I just thought, what the hell was he thinking when he recorded Lord of the Flies? But it grows on you. It's so weird, but it's catchy. And the piano work on it is so cool. So I do not, as of now, I do not have the 12-inch version. I have Lord of the Flies and Billy and the Kids on CD on the Jewel box. So I'm not suffering or anything, but I'd like to get the 12-inch version of this. In the meantime, I'm quite happy with the 7-inch version. All right, what to say? What to say about this? It's basically, Victim of Love was a disco album. Johnny B. Goode was a disco version of the Chuck Berry classic. This was just something I threw in at the last minute when I was building the order because I thought, well, it's a kind of a cool picture. It's black and white. It's the photo from the cover of the album, but it's been processed differently. In all honesty, it really doesn't make the artwork that much better, but it's an interesting departure from what I'm used to. The flip side, I can't believe I haven't mentioned this yet. Thunder in the Night is one of the songs from Victim of Love that I think actually kind of saves it from really being the complete disaster that most people say it is. It's a little bit Bee Gees-esque to the point of perhaps being a little unoriginal. It sounds a little like Tragedy by the Bee Gees, just a little. But it stands on its own as a good song. And really, in some ways, I think this should have been the single, not this. And overall, Victim of Love, it's a good album to listen to if you're exercising. Or, as I like to tell people, wait till you go on a road trip. It's a really good one to have in the car, going on your stereo. It just keeps you alert, helps pull you along. So, this one. Okay, so this one is definitely Dutch because if I've done my homework, the song Return to Paradise, which is a song from his 1978 album A Single Man, Holland was the only territory where it was an A-side. I may be forgetting another territory where that was the case, but I can only think of Holland. My personal history with the song Return to Paradise, I might have a chance to explain at another time, but I think it's a bunch of radio-friendly lovey-dovey schlock, but lovey-dovey schlock can be good when it's done well, and this is one of my favorite cuts from that album. Anyway, Return to Paradise. Oh, this is another one that I dreamed about for so long. I have so much Live in Australia stuff on so many formats. This has that beautiful image from the album itself. It's kind of unusual to see it in full color because it's been reproduced so often in black and white. But there it is, Your Song, the live version. So we get Your Song, live version with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, and on the B, we get Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. And you've probably noticed by now, of course, we get this beautiful custom paper label. And just like the original Rocket LPs, you get this image on the A side, and then you flip it over, and you get a different image on the flip side. And that, for those of us that lived in MCA territory in the 80s and bought the original LP, we just got that standard, blue sky rainbow, an MCA blue rainbow label design. We didn't get stuff like that, so we kind of missed out. But so glad I have this now. Here is another one that as a boy I saw originally in the booklet for To Be Continued. This is Are You Ready for Love? And I'll have to take the record out to show you. But you get Are You Ready for Love Part 1, 5 minutes, 5 seconds, and then on the flip you get Are You Ready for Love Part 2. Now if like me, you own the original 12-inch EP, you'll know that Are You Ready for Love was about 8.5 minutes complete. What they did was they pretty much kept the 12-inch version as it was, but they faded it sort of towards the middle. When the chorus kept repeating and repeating and repeating, they fade that. And then on the flip, for part 2, what they do is they fade it up on the last words of that last chorus, and then boom, the drum break is pretty much the beginning of Are You Ready for Love Part 2. And then what you hear is everything that you get on the 12-inch version to the end. And some people think this track is a little cheesy, and yeah, in some ways it is, but man, it's irresistible. It really is. I'm still standing, of course. And this is such a great, this is one of the better sleeve designs. There were several different sleeve designs for this single, and that's pretty iconic. It's one of Elton's most memorable images from the 80s. It's actually the image that I associate most prominently with the period that I like to call his 80s Renaissance period. You know, and this period of his and Bertie's writing is, people disparage the 80s material so much, and I'm not going to lie to you, I think it's just as good as the 70s stuff. It's certainly different. It's not the same. It's not meant to be the same. That's one of the great things about the Elton John catalog and the John and Toppin catalog, is that the quality of the writing was always there. The sounds changed a bit as time went on, but overall, I mean, it's just amazing. I wouldn't be still collecting his stuff. I'm 43. I started collecting his stuff when I was 8. So, I don't think I'm ever going to stop. Oh, here's another good one. This is Healing Hands, Dancing in the End Zone on the flip. I love the cover art. Now, this is interesting. Is this Dutch? No, it's not. Look at that. No, it's made in West Germany, so it's a German. Yeah. Oh, I'll talk more about the Sleep with the Past album later. This is German. I know that for sure. This is German. Yeah. Island Girl with Sugar on the Floor, which is such a gorgeous song, written by Kiki D, recorded with the Rock of the Westies album. Yeah, that's one of the great Elton John B-sides. What a beautiful song. Island Girl, I don't know, when I was young, when I was a kid, I liked it, but I don't know, I skip it now. Just doesn't thrill me. It's another injection mold. This is another German one, isn't it? Doesn't say made in Germany. I don't see it. Oh yeah, there it is. Made in Germany. What's on the flip? Is it House of Cards? Yeah, House of Cards. There it is. Getting back here. Okay. We have finally come across it. This one here was the reason I was searching Discogs a couple months ago, and I found this seller. The song Blue Avenue, which I think was a Dutch Rocket exclusive. I don't think it was a single, or at least an A-side anyway, in any other territory. Blue Avenue is one of my favorite songs from what is one of my truly most favorite albums ever made by anyone, never mind Elton John. Sleeping with the Past, released August 1989. I can remember when it came out. I was waiting for it, and this is the days before the internet, and when I finally got my copy, wow, there's not one song on this album that could not have been a single. They're that good. It's just a grand slam of an album, Sleeping with the Past. Released towards the end of Elton's 80s Renaissance period, and at a time when he was not in the best of shape, mentally, physically. He had addictions. He was getting over a very rough court case, a suit that he brought against a newspaper in England for basically trying to ruin him, and it was all lies. And he won, but man, did it do a number on him. And out of all that turmoil came that terrific album. And Blue Avenue, I can remember being a kid and having my headphones on in the darkness sometimes when I'd listen to music late at night after everyone had gone to sleep and they thought I was sleeping too. I wasn't. I was listening to music and listen to Amazes Me and Blue Avenue are the two play-out songs on side 2. And they're both in E flat, so they go together well. And Blue Avenue just, to this day, still gives me goosebumps. It's such a great song. And Stone's Throw from Hurtin', man, that could have been an A-side too. Was never a single to my knowledge in any territory. Oh, I could sit here and go on and on about Sleeping with the Past. It's just fantastic. Okay, now this is an interesting one. That it's the original 1974 version of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, but it was re-released in, I think it was 91. 90 or 91. Must have been 91. And it was released for charity reasons. And we have the original song for Guy on the flip. Alright, getting close to the end here. Sacrifice. And the flip side, Love is a Cannibal, which I believe was an outtake from Sleeping with the Past. Not my favorite non-LPB side. In fact, I found a pretty weak song. It turned up on the soundtrack to Ghostbusters 2, of all places. But Sacrifice is just a beautiful song. It's not my favorite. I don't skip over it, but it's actually, in my opinion, the weakest song on Sleeping with the Past. But still a great song. Love is a Cannibal, not so good. Oh, and this, okay. I have many different versions of the original Your Song single, but none that has a picture sleeve. This is Your Song, original, Dutch DJM. So the label looks very similar. I think black, silver, and yellow. The yellow's a bit dim. It's a bit dim, but it's yellow. Yellow rim text. So a label design very, very much like the classic DJM UK label design. And it's Your Song, backed with Into the Old Man's Shoes, which was an outtake from the Tumbleweed album. And it's such a great song. Certified classic. And then there's this. Sad songs say so much. It's one of those songs that it's not that you hate it, it's that you just hate yourself for loving it. Because it's impossible not to like it. It's just so catchy, that said, I kind of have, I might need a drink or two in order to play it. It's just because I've heard it so often. But it was such a hit at the time. And, God, I have 1 million copies of this single, but I don't have a Dutch copy. So there you go. Philly Freedom. Another one I have many copies of, but this one is, I think this is a UK. Yeah, it is. It's a UK copy. And, yeah. Philly Freedom, it's a great song. And, of course, on the flip is I Saw Her Standing There Live, the November 28th, 1974 performance with John Lennon at the Madison Square Garden, which turned out to be Lennon's last public appearance before his death. And it's a Beatles song. I Saw Her Standing There. I mean, how can you not like it? Beatles. Okay, just 2 more, I think. Word in Spanish. I have a few copies of this from other territories, but this is, I think, the nicer sleeve design of the 2 that I've seen. Heavy Traffic on the flip. Is this UK or Dutch? Looks like UK. Yeah, it is UK. And last but not least, from the Leather Jackets album, Heartache All Over the World. It's not so bad, it's not so bad. I actually, when I was a kid and I had Greatest Hits Volume 3, Heartache All Over the World was my favorite song from that cassette. It was, and imagine my disappointment when I heard the rest of the Leather Jackets album. Anyway, the flip side is Highlander. It's an interesting little piece. But yeah, this is a Dutch Rocket copy, and there we go. So what am I going to do? I am going to These were pretty clean. The discs, I think, are pretty clean. I don't think I'm going to have to do anything to them other than maybe just give them a dry dust with my record brush. But most of the sleeves are in good shape. These are overall in the condition as advertised, and I'm very happy with this purchase. And yeah, I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I trust that if I ever actually do anything with this video, say put it on the YouTube for people to enjoy, that what will happen is I'll edit it down a little bit. But it'll still probably be pretty long, because that's my style. And I gotta be me. Anyway, thanks for watching.